Hi, everyone. I wanted to walk you through my review of John Smith's Mixed Methods Research Design template. And I'm going to provide feedback on terms of what do I think about the research questions, the alignment of the data collection and analysis techniques, as well as the implications, potential findings, conclusions, etc. So we're going to walk through, this particular one is on non-academic and academic influences that contribute to the literacy skills of English language learners who are freshmen at a four-year university. There are two research questions. One, to what extent do academic and non-academic influences contribute to literacy skills of freshmen? So to what extent? It sounds quantitative in nature. Secondly, what are the perceptions of students? Okay, automatically I'm thinking this is qualitative in nature. So maybe these two research questions fulfill the necessary requirement of a mixed methods research design. So what are the perceptions of students with regards to their level of preparedness to successfully complete college freshman level college courses? So those sound good. I don't really have too much input into how to improve those. I feel like those have been refined over the course of this semester. The hypotheses are around the relationships, and this John Smith says that he expects there to be a relationship between this. I might indicate maybe it means, of course, there is a relationship always, but it could be high or low. So I would sort of input here that I'm looking for. I expect it to be a high relationship. Similarly, there are correlations among academic influences. I might say a high level of correlation, something like that. Same goes for here. No hypothesis is necessary for the qualitative question. If we go to the theoretical framework section, this is where we're looking for one or maybe two theoretical frameworks that underpin the study, that serve as that lens from which to view and analyze data. So here, John says social cognitive theory, critical pedagogy, multiliteracies, et cetera, all of these apply to his study. And while that could be true, that they have the potential to apply to the study, I think it's really important that we can only look through one lens at a time. And so because we have two research questions from which to answer, I would not have more than two theoretical frameworks to guide the study. As such, I would encourage John to reevaluate his choices here in order to try to narrow those down to the most important ones. If we go down to what is the research design specifically, John indicates a concurrent triangulation mixed methods design where both quan and qual are given equal weight and collected at the same time. So this is not only explicit, but super clear and leaving me with no real questions about how that data collection and analysis would take place, as well as the integration. His population and sample, here it talks about how 20 students in a freshman ESL class, it would be over the course of one semester, and the population being the class. So my question there would be, if 20 students are the sample, what is the number of the larger population of the class? Secondly, approximately 100 students in this course. So he's saying you could either do 20 students from the larger or 100, take everybody. So now I understand what he means by that. And if he uses option 2, he could represent the population of ESL students who are at this particular university. So I think the only thing to remember here is we're thinking about the overall population, the sample of students that were selected, and then are all of them going to be receiving the same kind of treatment and so forth. Here, this part is left blank, but it seems very similar to the one up above. Not sure what happened there. So the sampling method would be, is it stratified? Is it random? Is it purposive, et cetera, et cetera. So you would want to denote that here. The data sources, again, we have quantitative and qualitative. For the quantitative ones, they're going to include some grades, different times, as well as counting the number of tutoring sessions, and then also surveys and so forth. So my question here is this, should this part right here actually read qualitative? Because they're looking at preparedness, survey data, etc. So this might be a typo. If we go further down to align the research questions with the means of data collection and data analysis, to what extent do these influences contribute to literacy skills? And so here, how are you going to collect the data, midterm grades? How are you going to analyze those midterm grades with t-tests and effect sizes? How are you going to do the same for end of the semester grades? How are you going to analyze this survey data here through qualitative or quantitative means? That is not denoted. That means that I can't be sure that you're going to be looking at this through the right way. You can either use a stat flow chart that I used in 7211, or you can look at some other qualitative indicators that were provided in 7900. Secondly, what are the perceptions of students? So these are more qualitative in nature, most likely, through the exit survey, another survey, and John lists a content analysis of predetermined themes. So that's just something that you want to think about. So you have transparency between and alignment between the research question, means of data collection, and specifically how you're going to analyze that data. Don't just say it's going to be qualitative or quantitative. That's not specific. The timeline could be over 14 weeks, but specifically within the 14 weeks, what will it look like? How many weeks will be collected? How long will it take you to analyze it? How long will the surveys take, et cetera? Give me some estimates. Then the implications. Here it talks about how the theories and the strategies will increase L learners in the transition to college. The use of multi-literacies will provide insight for these different types of students to be able to express difficulties, so on and so forth, as well as engagement increases. So there, those are listed, the potential positive implications. Sometimes there may be negative ones that you would include too. The limitations denoted here talk about small sample size or small overall population, the inability to get into all the classes you would like, many moving parts, and the challenges in making clear determinations from that data collected. And then future directions, I would add something here specifically about what are some additional studies that could follow from this initial research project. That's how I would think about this mixed methods research design template. And I hope you would take these into consideration as you adjust and refine yours towards the poster creation.